Welcome to Today I Work On Sitting Down Edition. We're going over the Chilisleep Dock Pro Wii system since there's two systems. What we're going to do is, first we're going to do the 6-month maintenance on the Chilisleep Dock Pro pad. So what we got to do is we have to take all the water out, and you need some tools to do that. The first tool you need is this little piece it actually comes from Chilisleep. It actually gets rid of the water right here. So we need that. We need scissors. We need a zip tie. We need this pole right here. We need a little bowl to hold the water. And then we need a bigger bucket to hold more water. First step is to disconnect the Chilisleep from the tube that goes to the system to the pad. So let's do that right now. Pretty dry. I don't really see any water. A little bit of water came out. Next up, we have to put on the tool, the release tool that comes from Chilisleep. So let's push that and see what happens. All right, we have water. But once I let it go, no more water. So what I need to do is I need to put on a zip tie. So let's do the zip tie, and that will hold it in place so I can relieve all the water. So I'm going to let this work a little bit. As you see, we have suds. That means this original formula is in the system and it's doing its job. The water looks actually pretty clean. So that means we're doing the right job. Just to let you know, these system cleaners, we're only putting them in once every 2 months. They recommend once every month, but obviously once every 2 months is fine. I already did my wife's side and the water looked exactly the same, and she runs it hot and I run it cold. So it doesn't really matter. The next step to get the water out has to do with this pole. So let's work on that. The next step, I take this pole and I start from the furthest side. So if you have your Chilisleep on the front, which I don't recommend because it's harder to get to. So make sure you keep it on the front of the bed. I'm going to slowly start pushing water out. And look what happens. We get all that water out. And that looks nice and sudsy. It looks really good. So I'm going to do that a few more times. And then I'm going to let it sit, then do it a few more times. Let it sit. So I'll have 5 minutes of doing this. Once the bowl gets half full, just lift this up like so it doesn't leak, and throw more. Look how sudsy that is. That is awesome. Okay, good. So we're doing the right job. Right, I'm going to keep cleaning it out. My side, compared to my wife's side, she runs it hot, I run it cold. There's a lot more suds in it. So I think the hot part of the Chilisleep, I think it breaks down the cleaner more. Mine looks really good. It makes kind of sense because the warmer things get, the more bacteria can build. So I'm going to let this drip for like a little bit more. There's still a little bit of water in there, but most of it's out. And then we'll attach everything up, and then we'll start filling the system up again. And you'll see how the Chilisleep works. I feel like it's pretty much done. I don't think there's much water left in the pad itself, so I'm going to cut off the zip tie. And then now it's going to be dry. I'll dump this out. And then I will reconnect the Chilisleep system from one to the other. Next step, let's fill up the actual Chilisleep Pro dock system. Let's turn it on, see what happens. It's requiring water, so let's continue to fill it up. And now I'm going to let it run down probably to half. See, it's all emptying out into the pad. Let me add more. And then I'm going to put in a cleaner. So it's like halfway through the cycle. And if you could see, do you hear that? It's calling for water. You can see it sucking the water up. Can you see that? It's sucking the water up. One side in, one side out. So it cycles through. So we're going to let that work for a few minutes, and then we'll tidy this all up. I think pretty much a gallon will work for each system. And just keep topping it off. About 5 minutes has gone by and it seems like it's not asking for more water, so I'm just going to top it off ever so slightly. And then I'm going to let it run for a little while. I'll close this up. I will leave it out, lock this while both sides are sucking up the water. I'll review the Chilisleep 6 months in. Let's get into the review side of this video. 6 months in, there's really not much to say. The app is a little wonky. Sometimes the Chilisleep will just randomly turn on if you mess with it. If I manually, I just manually turn both of mine on now, but the next day, the schedule gets all messed up. I'm not sure why. It's a bug. Chilisleep work on that. Last week I was away at the track event and my wife wanted to clean it and she put it in the wash with the Chilisleep was still full with water. She just disconnected it here and it didn't break. When she called me, I asked her, I said, did you drain the system? And she said, yes. And I said, did you use the tool? And she was like, no. I was like, oh no. I was like, you might have destroyed it. Luckily, that didn't happen. So this is a pretty tough system when it comes to the actual pad. I saw some people where they're saying sometimes the Chilisleep gets a little bunchy. I think that's if you don't put the pad on properly. You have to, you just heard it ask for more water. You need to really make it tight on the bed. You really, the sides I'll show you, you really need to tuck it underneath as hard as possible. But for the most part, we love it. My wife sleeps, I think she was on 90 degrees over the weekend when it was super cold. I bumped mine up a little bit to 70, so 65 to 75 now. And I could set the schedule how I want. And it's actually really a pleasure. The system hasn't given us really any issues, thankfully. I went over how to maintain it. So I'll probably do a 1-year update on the system to see if it's still working. One last little maintenance issue before I forget. This piece right here is a filter. And if you look at it, it gets mucked up with just dust and stuff. So you need to, every 6 months, depending on your house, you need to clean this off. So this is my wife's side. It's nice and clean. We just cleaned it. And that's about it. I'm not sure if anyone else has any questions. I know a lot of people are having issues with the Chilisleep system. I'm not sure why. That kind of stinks. Maybe we lucked out, but I think this was one of the first systems that were shipped out, supposedly, from what my wife told me. So I really have nothing else to say on the Chilisleep. If you have any questions about the 6-month service and the review, just throw them in the comments. If you like this video, please like it. If you want to see the 1-year review on the Chilisleep Dock Pro system, please subscribe. Again, Chilisleep did not pay me to say any of this. I have nothing to do with this Chilisleep system. My wife got it as a birthday present last year, so, or I don't know what kind of, no, it wasn't a birthday, it was an anniversary present for me and her. So anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.